Hey guys, this is Resurrect Me. Today I'm going to be going over poison explosions in dungeons, specifically Fire Knight and Dragon 25. Um, you're going to see here that my gear is not God tier gear, and this is actually my buddy's account, SS Hawk. His gear is nothing crazy, it's easily obtainable. And I'm going to go through all this with you guys. Unfortunately, I screwed up when I recorded the video and didn't turn the mic on, so I'm having to do a voiceover. So I'm going to do my best to keep up with the video and explain what I was talking about when it wasn't recording my voice. That was an epic fail, but yes, so here we go. We're going to start off with Ellen Rail, which is my poison exploder of choice. You're going to see here on a lot of these champs, they have a lot more stats than they need. And that's because I built them with other parts of the game in mind. Really, for stage 25 dungeons, you only need like 235 accuracy. So if you wanted, you could sacrifice some of that accuracy and all of the resist for more crit damage and attack. I have her going at 235 speed so she can go twice on Fire Knight. And you'll see that when I actually show the run. Again, you don't need the resist, at least not on anyone but Eurogrim, which I will go over Eurogrim here in a little bit. But yeah, you can sacrifice all that resist and you can sacrifice accuracy up to 235 accuracy. And then you can put the rest in attack and crit damage to build up your damage. Again, those stats are nothing crazy. Her masteries, I just went down the War Master and went down the support tree. Just, it's just a general dungeon build. Yeah, there's not much to say about how she's built. I would like a lot more crit damage and attack, but I'm building her for Doom Tower and other places as well, so that's what I ended up with. Next is going to be Tomb Lord. Again, you don't need resist, and you only need 235 accuracy, but I've got him with more than enough. You don't need him in regen, at least not in these poison exploding comps. He's not going to be soloing. The only person that's going to solo is Eurogrim, and that's only in Dragon. Fire Knight 25, everybody stays alive. So again, you don't need resist on him. You can add attack and crit damage if you wanted to, and you need him going faster than Alan Rail. Yeah, that's pretty much it. His masteries, I unfortunately don't show, but they just go down to Giant Slayer, and then they go down the support tree, basically like Alan Rail does. Next up is Eurogrim. I have him in regen set because on Dragon, he is going to, what you hope he does is solos the Dragon. Not the waves, but the Dragon. So you want to clear the waves, get to the Dragon, and let the Dragon kill your whole team. Again, his stats are on him. His stats are actually needed. I would like for him to go a little bit faster, but it still works. And the Dragon run, as you'll see later, is still a sub 2-minute run. Very consistent. It has not failed on me yet. But yeah, you need the resist on Eurogrim because you don't want the Dragon to put a whole bunch of debuff. You need a pretty good HP and defense amount to be able to sustain against the Dragon. And that's how Eurogrim's built. I will go over his masteries here in a second. And again, guys, I'm really sorry. I recorded and I just didn't hit the microphone button. So I am having to voice over everything. So there's a little bit of a delay, and I might have talked about something else here and there in the video. But here's the masteries. I went with that to help speed him up. When he gets to the Dragon and your team start dying, he will actually have more speed, and he'll be able to DPS down the Dragon with his poisons and whatnot. You can go Giant Slayer if you want, not Giant Slayer, but War Master if you wanted to, but I chose to go that route and it works perfectly fine. Dark Tail is your DPS unit against the Fire Knight. Again, way more than what you need on the accuracy. You only need 235 accuracy. I've got him going at 230 speed. You could sacrifice that resist and some of that accuracy if you wanted to increase his damage. That would be perfectly fine. On Fire Knight, you don't need to really worry a whole lot about his HP and defense because 98% of the time the Fire Knight's not going to get a turn. But I'll go over that once we get to the run. Allure, she's going to be a little bit more difficult to build. If you're just building her for dungeons, again, 235 accuracy. But she does need from 260 speed to about 285 speed to be able to keep up with the Fire Knight 25 speed. She needs 100% crit rate and she needs accuracy. I put enough accuracy on there for Doom Tower. In fact, I would actually like a little bit more. You want about 350 to 380 accuracy for Doom Tower. But yeah, she worked just fine on dungeon, just like that. Again, you could sacrifice that accuracy and resist if you wanted to build her for damage. That's pretty much it for her. I went down a Giant Slayer just to help DPS the Fire Knight boss down. And then next up is Yumeko, which is going to be my reset champion. And the cool thing about Dragon and Fire Knight, your reset champion can be anybody. It can be Kaimar, it can be Yumeko, it can be Renegade. Any of those will work just fine. Again, if you're building her just for dungeons, you don't need that much accuracy and you don't need resist. You do want her to be the fastest champion on the team to reset the skills. She can be slower than Allure, but she needs to be faster than everybody else. If you're just building her for dungeons, again, you can sacrifice the resist and some of the accuracy to build damage. But I've got her built for Doom Tower and other parts of the game as well. So that's why she's got pretty good overall stats on her. For her masteries, I don't think I show it, but her masteries, I basically go down the support and the defense tree just because I went down support to get that extra accuracy and then the defense tree to help her survive. But yeah, we're going to go into our runs and I'm actually going to show you the AI setup first. And once it gets there, again, like I said, I pre-recorded this, unfortunately. Yumeko is going to use her A1 on the first round. On the second round, she's going to reset. And then the third round, I want her using her A1 as much as possible because she has turn meter reduction on her A1. But if you're using Renegade or Kaimar, it really doesn't matter. Ellen Rail, she's going twice, so she's going to use her poison mood first. And then on her second go around, she's going to explode the poison. And she does that for both rounds 1 and 2. And the round 3, she does everything. Rounds 1 and 2 on Tomb Lord, he's just going to throw up the poisons. And that's all he's going to do. On round 3, you want him to open up with his A1 because it's a 3-hitter. And then you want him to prioritize the poison to help DPS down with Dark Tail. And then you need to use Blight. You don't want to disable it. You need to use it just in case Allure gets resisted. And you're going to need that decreased attack up on the Fire Knight boss. Because if you don't, he will one-shot you and your run will fail. But as long as you put decreased attack up, you will be okay and your run will not fail. As far as Allure getting resisted, just so everybody knows, there is a 3% chance to resist in this game. Doesn't matter if you have 800 accuracy. You still have a 3% chance of getting resisted. So that's why you want the decreased attack up on the boss. So Dark Kale, you want him to extend the poisons on round 1 and 2. And then round 3, you want him using that A1 as much as possible to nuke down the boss. Rounds 1 and 2, Allure, you want her to use the A2. And then round 3, you want her to use the A1 as much as possible. I'm going to show the run. I'm going to start it off in ×1 speed. That way you guys can see how these interactions work. And it actually slows down the run, but it doesn't matter. It's still a below 2 minute and 30-second run. So poison, extend the poisons, and then you get back to Ellen Rail's turn, and then she will basically blow everybody up. And then you reset the skills, and it's the same thing as the first round. Poison, extend, and then get back to Ellen Rail and blow everybody up. And then basically you just get the shield down, and then you rely on Allure, and you just rely on Allure to keep the turn meter down. Tomb Lord is very nice to have because he does have decreased speed on his A1. It takes a little bit to get there because he uses his other skills first. But once he gets there, that'll help Allure keep the turn meter down on the boss, and basically you just keep nuking the boss over and over again. It's pretty simple. I want to talk about substitutions, but I remember later in the video I started talking about substitutions, so I will save that till when I get to that point, so there's not just a blank spot in the video. But yeah, that's pretty much the run. It's very consistent. The fastest run I've had is 1 minute and 58 seconds, and the slowest run I've had is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And it's very consistent. It's always between 2 minutes and 2 minutes and like 20 seconds. That's about the time frame. So that's a pretty good run there, especially considering I was in ×1 at the beginning. But now I'm going to go into Dragon, and I actually screw up. I start to show the skills, like the AI setup, and then I just started the run. I don't know why I got distracted, but I will actually finish showing the AI setup after the run. But yeah, so here's this run. Here's this partial AI setup. Oh no, I'm showing you Taurus. That was my other poisoner. I did forget to show you him at the beginning of the video. Basically, you just want him going fast enough and have enough accuracy to put his poisons up. That's all you care about him. And here's part of the setup. So because of Ellen Rail's speed having to go twice on Fire Knight, I had to do the same setup with her on Dragon. But ideally you want Ellen Rail or Xavier, the other poison explosion, you want them going last. It will actually speed your run up about 10 to 20 seconds. But because you have to wait till you get to Ellen Rail's second turn, it slows it down a little bit, but it's still a sub 2 minute run on Dragon 25. But you could save some time if she was the slowest on the team, and just nuke them out waves 1 and 2. You get to the dragon, and then you just let Eurogrim do his thing. So like I said, I didn't finish showing everybody, but it's basically the same thing as Fire Knight. You're gonna poison, and then get back to Ellen Rail's nuke, and then you're gonna nuke. And then the same thing. Now, unfortunately, because I built Tomb Lord and Yumeko for other parts of the game, they're gonna survive. But ideally, you want your reset champion and your other poison champion to be a glass cannon per se, and you want them to die. You want the only person alive to be Eurogrim because it'll speed up the run. You don't have to watch the animations of the other four champions. You can just let Eurogrim poison down the dragon and your run will be much faster. But unfortunately, Yumeko and Tomb Lord are going to survive. As you'll see here, Eurogrim never uses A3, and that's because I have it turned off, hoping that Yumeko and Tomb Lord will die so it'll speed up. If you have them built to where they will die, you can enable Eurogrim's A3 for poisons and continuous heal, and it'll be a much faster run. But I had to disable it that way in hopes of Yumeko and Tomb Lord dying, so that way it'll speed it up. But like I said, if you build them to where they die, you can definitely enable Eurogrim's A3. Like here, they died, but it's too late. I wanted them to die on the dragon's first hit, but again, still a sub 2-minute run. Now I'm gonna go back to showing you the skill setup because I realized I screwed up. Basically, Yumeko is the same. You don't want her to use her reset on the first round, and then the second round you want her to reset. And I'll show you that here in a second. Yep, there you go. On the round 3, it really doesn't matter, but I have the hex turned off because she doesn't need it. You don't benefit from it on the dragon boss. So I just have her doing A1 and A3. Tomb Lord is the same thing. Poison round 1, poison round 2, and then on dragon, I actually have Blight turned off, unlike Fire Knight, because I don't want the decrease attack up. I actually want the dragon to kill everybody except for Eurogrim. So I just keep the A1 and the poisons up and turn off the decrease attack. Again, Eurogrim, I have, once I get to him, basically you're going to go poison and poison on round 1 and 2, and then round 3, I have A2 and A3 turned off. Ideally, you want the A3 to go, but because your team does not die, I had to turn off the A3 to make the run faster. But if everybody dies except for Eurogrim, you can turn that A3 on, and your run will go much faster. Ellenrail, I already went through her, but I'll show you again. I have her built fast enough to go twice, and that's specifically for Fire Knight. Ideally, you want her to go last so you don't have to watch all those animations 2 times. If she's the slowest, you can go poison, 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 and then explode. But because I have her built for Fire Knight as well, I was not able to do that. And Taurus, like I said, you want him just fast enough to throw his poisons up and just have enough accuracy to throw his poisons up. And I'll show you that here in a second when I get to there. But yeah, poison, round 1 and 2. And then round 3, I have his poison turned off because he throws a self-unkillable up, and I want the dragon to kill him. So I have it turned off, that way he just A1, 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 then he dies, and then Eurogrim can do his thing. Now I'm going to randomly back out of all of this, but really I needed to stay in it so I can show you substitutions for these fights. Fire Knight, 25 substitutions. Really the only person on that team that you can substitute is Yumeko. You can put in Kaimar, you can put in Renegade, but that's about it. You can't substitute Ellenrail because Xavier is weak affinity. The only person that can substitute Dark Kale and do a good job is that new legendary. I cannot think of his name right now, but the new legendary that basically does what Dark Kale does, but better. which is, exploding the HP burns and the poisons. Tomb Lord can't be replaced because he's got decreased speed on his A1 and decreased attack, which you need, like I said, just in case the run goes unexpected and the Fire Knight gets a turn. You need decreased attack up to be able to survive. And Allure, you can't replace her on Fire Knight. You need her. She is a must-have. But yeah, that's basically it. You could put Ninja in for Dark KO, but it's not going to be that good. Dark KO is the best option, and like I said, Ellen Mill, you can't really substitute her. I'm probably going to cut out this next part because I see there is a long spot before I actually back out and go to Dragon. But yeah, I'll cut it out and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back now, and I'm going to show you and talk about substitution for Dragon. Dragon, you can substitute Ellenwell with Xavier because she will actually be neutral affinity and it'll work. Tomb Lord can be substituted for another Taurus. Again, all you need is enough speed and accuracy to get the poisons up. You don't care about the decreased speed or the decreased attack. So yeah, you could substitute Tomb Lord for a Taurus. Eurogrim you could substitute with like Bad Alcazar or another champion that can sustain and DPS down the dragon. Basically, Bad Al and Eurogrim are the best option for that. And again, Yumeko can be changed out for anybody that resets skills. So Kaimar, Yumeko, and Renegade are all viable options. It really doesn't matter. Yeah, that's basically it. You could have 2 Tomb Lords, you could have 2 Taurus, you could have one of each, like I'm showing you here. It really doesn't matter as long as you get the poisons up and then let Ellenwell nuke, and then you get to the dragon and everybody dies, and then Eurogrim does his thing. I can't think of any other substitutions at this point, but like I said, I am wrong quite often. So if I left somebody out, you can leave a comment down below. What else? I help anybody out. I can help in dungeons, arena, clan boss. Pretty much the only place in the game that I don't really help other people on is Hydra, and that's simply because I hate Hydra with a passion. It is the worst part of the game to me. I hate having to manual a 50-minute run just to get barely enough damage to get the chest. So I will try to help, but I'm not a huge help on Hydra, simply because I don't care enough about Hydra to learn it. But yeah, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. I always try to respond to people. I'm always willing to help. Faction wars, dungeons, clan boss, anything really, I help. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys on the next one.